The truly great novels, they don't just tell stories. They ask the biggest questions out there. Questions about how we should live our lives. They show us different choices, different paths to happiness, and then they let us watch what happens. And honestly, there's maybe no novel that does this better than the one we're going to dive into today. We are talking, of course, about Leo Tolstoy's masterpiece, Anna Karenina. And just look at this cover art. It kind of says it all, doesn't it? This is a story about things breaking, about fragmentation, broken rules, and two very, very different hearts just trying to find some kind of fulfillment in a world that seems designed to pull them apart. Because at its core, the novel is just relentlessly asking this one thing. Is a truly happy life found in radical freedom, in passionate love that ignores all the rules? Or is it found inside of tradition, family, and faith, even with all the limits and doubts that come with them? Tolstoy gives us two powerful and totally competing answers through two unforgettable couples. So first up, we have Konstantin Levin and Princess Kati Sherbatskaya. Now, their path to love is no fairy tale. Not at all. It's messy, it's anxious, and it's deeply, deeply human. It all unfolds right in the middle of Russian high society with all of its rules, expectations, and rituals. What's so wild about Levin is this massive contradiction inside of him. On the one hand, he's a man of the earth, a landowner who really believes in tradition. But to marry Kitty, he has to go through these church rites, and that forces him to face this huge spiritual crisis he's having. He actually tells the priest this directly. I mean, talk about revealing the deep doubt at the very core of your being. So for Levin and Kitty, love isn't some magical escape from life's problems. It's the exact opposite. It's the very thing that forces them to stare those problems right in the face. Levin has to wrestle with his faith, his identity, his place in the world, all of it just to get to the altar. And this timeline just shows you how real their journey is. It's not some smooth, romantic dream. It's a series of totally relatable, almost comical anxieties. You've got the deep spiritual crisis, then there's a full-blown panic that Kitty doesn't really love him, and then it all ends with the most mundane disaster imaginable. He can't find his wedding shirt. They are literally almost late to their own wedding over a piece of clothing. Okay, now let's do a complete 180. In total contrast, we have Anna Karenina and Count Vronsky. And they have taken the exact opposite path. They have smashed every social rule, left their families, and run off to Italy to build a brand new life based on one thing and one thing only: their love for each other. And at first, wow, it really seems like they found paradise. For Anna, getting out of her cold, loveless marriage feels like waking up from a long nightmare. She is just blissfully, almost defiantly happy. In her mind, she has finally found real freedom. But, and there's always a but with Tolstoy, almost right away, he shows us the cracks forming in this perfect freedom. For Vronsky, the guy who gave up his entire military career to win Anna, this profound sense of aimlessness starts to set in. You see, the great chase of his life is over. He has her. So now what? He's filled with this restless boredom, what Tolstoy brilliantly calls a desire for desires. In this number, it just hits you. 16. Think about that. Back in Petersburg, his life was packed with military duties, social calls, a whole structure. Here, in their Italian paradise, there is nothing but empty time. 16 hours a day that he has to figure out how to fill, and just killing time becomes its own kind of obsession. So this brings us right to the central comparison of the whole story. We've got these two couples on two completely different paths, and the novel just lets us watch their worlds play out side by side. And this is where the contrast just becomes crystal clear. On one side, you have Levin and Kitty's wedding. It's public, it's sacred, it binds them to their community and their future. And on the other, you have Anna and Vronsky's isolated life in a palazzo, completely cut off from the world, focused entirely on the now. Let's just zoom in on the wedding for a second. This whole thing is about structure. I mean, think about it. It's a public performance of commitment. Everyone they know is there watching. The vows, the families, the rituals, it's all designed to build a foundation for a life that's way bigger than just the two of them. And then you've got the palazzo, and it's defined by the total lack of all that structure. It's a world built for just two people. It's an escape. But without any of those external obligations, their days become this endless, desperate search for distractions. They're just living in this continuous, aimless present with no real connection to a past or a future. So what happens? What are the consequences of these choices? Tolstoy explores this brilliantly through Vronsky's desperate search for something, anything, to give his life meaning, now that he's realizing that love alone might not be enough. He latches onto art. He decides he's going to be a painter. And on the surface, it seems like a noble idea, right? A way to create beauty and purpose in his empty life. He even starts dressing the part, with the medieval-style artist's hat and cape. But Tolstoy, being the genius he is, immediately gives us this devastating contrast. Through a friend, Vronsky meets a guy named Mikhailov. He's a poor, struggling, but genuinely gifted Russian artist who also happens to be in Italy. And Mikhailov's life acts like a brutal mirror to Vronsky's little hobby. This is Mikhailov's life. His art isn't something he does to fill the time. It is his entire existence. It's born out of struggle, out of poverty, out of this deep, agonizing creative process. He isn't playing the part of an artist. He just is one. And that gets to the core difference right there. Vronsky is a dilettante. He has the money. He has the time. He even has some talent. But he lacks that deep, life-or-death commitment. For him, art is a diversion. For Mikhailov, it's a vocation, a truth that he has to express no matter what it costs him. Vronsky is trying to find a purpose. Mikhailov already has one. And so we're left with Tolstoy's profound question. Does lasting happiness come from that radical freedom to chase passion wherever it leads, even if it risks isolation and meaninglessness? Or is it found in the difficult, messy, everyday work of building a life within the structures of family and community, and maybe finding a deeper, more lasting freedom inside of those very constraints?